This is how I have been sacrificing the people that go to the same church that I go to. I am going to the Apostolic Church, and I do not have any intentions to destroy these people that I have been destroying, but I can't do anything because I am being forced by the Spirit, and I am here, brother, because I have been fighting against the brother from your country, and I do not know what else to do right now because this person that I am fighting against, he is a very powerful traditional healer, and I do not know how I am going to get outside of this mess. This is how I ended up talking to a traditional healer from Zim, as well as consulting with some other prophets from another apostolic church. So I said, since I go to a apostolic church, which is found here in South Africa, I can also consult with other prophets that come from Zim. But that was the biggest mistake. To those that would want to blame me, I did not have any choice at all because of the mess that I had gotten myself involved in. If I was going to allow that woman to get me in trouble, so I had to do, I'm sure that most of the guys here, they would have done the same thing that I did. And listen, gents, if you are dating these young students that come to your company for attachments, my brother, you are looking for trouble because these girls, they will pretend as if they were taken advantage of, but yet they were involved with you and you used to give that woman money. But the moment that you can't give her money, then she is going to create a lot of problems for you. So if you are in a position of power, try by all means not to date women that come into the company working as interns, working under your supervision. If you date such a woman, when bad things happen, everyone is going to blame you and you are going to lose your marriage. My name, you can call me Sipo. I am a South African man. My story, it happened. It was in the year 2017. I had everything. I was 52 years old at that time. I was a senior supervisor, still am a senior supervisor at a big firm here in Joburg. I am also a respected member at our apostolic church, but I have always been weak when it comes to women, especially short women that are so beautiful, light-skinned, and with good curves. So there was an intern that joined my department. I will call her Lewu. She was 23, the age of my own daughter. Against every company policy, against the vows that I said when I married my wife, and against my position as her boss, I started a situation with him. For a month, we were reckless. I slept with him, and what made her to be angry, one day I was with her in a hotel. We were sleeping together. She had told me that she did not want us to engage in sexual activities without using any condoms at all. But as I was looking at this beautiful young woman, I said, to hell with this. I'm going to sleep with him without using any protection. So then I started to wrestle with the condom until I had pressed it just a little bit. Then we continued sleeping with each other. She only noticed it when she went to bath that I had ejaculated inside of her. She was so angry that I was reckless, and I claimed that I did not see that the condom had burst, and I just enjoyed when I was sleeping with her because she had been eating a lot of my money, and I did not want to keep on spending more money on a woman that I was sleeping with using condoms. So then that was when she started to blackmail me. It was in June by the time that she was blackmailing me of the same year in 2017. This beautiful woman, she turned into a snake very fast. As for Lewu, she started asking for big money. When I told her that I did not have money, she kept on reminding me that I had burst the condom and she could get me arrested for rape. And I said, no, but we were enjoying, and you were also enjoying, claiming that you wanted to give it to me raw, and she told me that it was just sex talk, nothing serious. She had made it clear that she did not want such a thing, and I was in a hot mess. Me and my wife, we had been honest with each other when it comes to the things that concerned money. And now I had this money that I kept on stealing and giving it to Levo, but still she wanted more money. When I told her that I could not keep up paying all of that money, she changed. And then she said to me, if I do not see 50,000 rands by Friday, I am going to HR. I will tell them that you forced me sexual harassment, Sipo. You will lose your pension, your house. You're going to lose everything. I was terrified. I am an apostolic man. We believe in the power of the Spirit. But instead of repenting, I then started looking for a shortcut. That was when the Zim prophet came into the picture. This was late 2017. So I then found a Zim prophet by chance after I had gone to visit this other brother of mine who stays in Yeovil. I just went to pay him a visit over the weekend. And at the back of his house, there were some guys that were singing. And then I asked him, what was it all about? And then he told me a story that the people that were singing right next door to him, these people, when they started having their church behind his house, he used to complain quite a lot. But then something changed. I asked him and I said, what changed? And then he told me that there was someone that stole his battery from his car. That person that stole the battery from his car, he could not find him. And he went to that prophet with his wife, not thinking much was going to happen. And he was told the name of someone that he did not even expect. The boy that was working with his mechanic in that same location, he had sent that boy to go and steal the battery from his car, his own mechanic, someone that he trusted with. So when he was told that the boy was the one that had been sent, he said at first he did not want to believe it. He thought that maybe it was just a lie. And then the prophet said that he was going to do something that was going to make the thief to come back to him. Then he was given some prayers to bath with. And after that, then when he returned back home, bathing with the holy water for about 2 days, the thief came with a brand new battery to apologize. When he told me this story, I then thought of my own situation, but I did not want to let my relative to know that this was what was happening at work. So I returned back on my own, and I did not want people to know who I was. I was even using a different car that I had rented out from Avis. So this girl, I then spoke about him to the prophet, and the prophet said that we are going to fix him. The prophet then gave me holy water and mixed things that I did not ask about. He told me to sprinkle it where she walked and to say her name 3 times each and every day at work with a curse. I did it. I wanted her to leave me alone. I did not know that leaving me alone, it meant that this young girl, she was going to the grave. It was in early 2018. That was when we got the news we were at work. We got the news that Lewo was dead, how she had passed away. She had returned back to Eastern Cape to visit her family. So she got involved in a huge fight with a boyfriend. They had gone to drink at a tavern. When they were there was a big mess up. She was dancing with other boys, and this was what her boyfriend did not like. He started fighting with those boys, and then they beat him up. Later on, he then followed his girlfriend Lewu to her place and then managed to seduce her to go with her to his mother's house. When they were there, that was when he ended up stabbing Lewu to death. It was a horrific death that happened. He pulled a knife and stabbed her to death. When I heard about this, to tell you the truth, I was saddened because she was quite a beautiful girl, someone that could be considered material type apart from her character as someone that loved to date a lot of men at the same time, but she was indeed a good woman. So I had this wicked relief that I had because this girl, she was gone. Then it meant that the blackmail was gone, for my secret was safe. But the Bible says, be sure your sin will always find you out. So after she had passed away, I can say that the relief, it did not even last for a very long time. It was by 2019, we did not have electricity. There was load shedding. So I was sleeping in the bedroom. Funny enough, my wife, she was with our kids. They were just sitting in the garage. So they were charging their phones in the car that was parked in the garage. So I was not even afraid of being in my own bedroom, and I did not even have the torch on my phone switched on. I had been pressing and pressing my phone, and I got tired and I just started to doze off. That was when I noticed that the curtain, it was blowing. It was as if there was someone that had opened the curtain. I then got up out of bed and I walked towards the curtain, and I did not see anyone, but I saw that the window, it was wide open. So I just thought that maybe it was my wife that had opened the curtain. I closed it and then I returned back to the bed. Then I heard a sound of the wind again. I looked and I saw the curtain. It was blowing and the window was open once again. Hey, that was when I saw a white figure that was in the bedroom. I ran out of the bedroom and I screamed. My wife and kids, they asked me what was wrong. And then I said that there was a rat that I had been chasing. And they asked me which rat was I chasing in the dark. So I did not want my family to know that I had seen the ghost of the woman, that I had done some prayers and then that woman had passed away. I just kept it to myself and I wanted to speak with the prophet, but I was so busy at work. Then I would smell her perfume. She loved this perfume that was always vanilla flavored. She used to wear it and I would smell it in my car, in my office. And sometimes when I would be sitting at work, I would feel as if my legs are in a pool of water. And when I would look, I would see that indeed my shoes would be wet. Where the water would have come from, no one even knows. And this lady, she started coming to me even in broad daylight when I was in my office. So I went back to the prophet. He told me that he was going back to Zim. That was the time when things got really worse, and I visited a Sangoma. When I visited a Sangoma, what I did not know was that I was making the ghost of Levo to become even angry. I was then given some herbs which I was supposed to burn. I burnt those herbs. Yo, brother Nashim, that was when I messed up real bad because she started to visit me, beating me up. The prophet then came back. When the prophet came back to me, and then that was when the prophet said that he was going to fix everything. He then went into a back room and he brought out a clay pot. Inside was a mixture of gray ashes and dark soil. I did not know it at the time that this was grave soil that was inside of that clay pot. He then told me that the ghost of Lewo had woken up and she wanted to make me to become crazy, but we were going to use those charms in order for her to stop haunting me. Every time that I felt her present, I was supposed to take a handful of the ashes and throw them into someone else's yard, but not when I am outside. I was supposed to go inside the yard. This will be me giving her spirit a new home so that she can give me peace for a little while. Then she will realize that she is in the wrong home after she would have messed up with their life. So, Brother Nashi, in order for me to be able to go into people's homes, it is not just easy. You cannot just go into someone's home and then you throw the soil. What I started to do was that I started to visit the homes of my colleagues. Over the weekend, I'll just pass through your house and then I would dump the soil When we are talking, I'll just take out the soil from my pocket and just sprinkle wherever we would be seated, as long as you are not looking at me. And I would visit those that were going to the same church that I go to, and then I would dump the soil in the yard, pretending as if I just want to pray for them. So I have lost count, Brother Nash. There are men and women that I have died from my workplace as well as from our church, including my own sister, so many elders as well as deacons from our church. Right now, I am 59. Whenever I think about all the funeral programs in our church, sometimes I end up speaking at the funeral, but I will be the one that would have caused that person to die. Now, this is where your brother, the prophet from Zim, comes back into my story. I recently went to him and I told him that this clay pot that he gave to me, it is the reason as to why all of these people are dying. I want him to take back this clay pot. And then he said to me that he wants money. And I said, how much do you want? This man, he is saying that he wants 300,000 rands. Where can I get such a huge sum of money? There is no way I can get that money. So this is where I am right now, Brother Nashi. I am in desperate need of help. If you know anyone that can assist me so that this prophet, so that he can assist me without charging so much money, where am I going to get 300,000? It is a lot. What is my wife going to say when she sees that I have made a transaction of so much money? I need help. If you know anyone that can assist me, that is a prophet, please tell me. I will be following in the comment section, and please give me the link to my testimony so that I can follow. Your dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to us by one of our brother, and let us thank our dear sister who assisted us with a translation. Strange things indeed, they do happen in this world. Do you know anyone that can assist our dear brother so that this clay pot, it can be destroyed? And apologies for the background noise. I'll be back with another episode.